Welcome to my new YouTube channel and my very first body painting tutorial. Thanks so much for tuning in, and please make sure to subscribe. Today's tutorial is on this super cool clown, and I'm calling her LA Hustle. All the products will be listed in the description box down below, so if you want to learn how I did this, keep on watching. First, I want to say I learned this muscle technique from the amazingly talented Jordan Hanz, and I will leave her YouTube in the description box down below. First, map out the muscles and the ligaments with a white eyeliner pencil, continuing down your neck. Then with water-activated paint by Mehron in light blue, I fill in the ligaments. I decided to go with blue muscles just to match the whole vibe. Favorite artists on Instagram did some purple ones. Her name is Love Cat. Super dope. Using Mehron's water-activated paint again in a mid-tone blue, I fill in the muscles, leaving the eye and the mouth open. And then I take it all the way up to that torn line. I always leave my eye and mouth to the very end because sometimes it gets weird, cracked, and it looks the freshest when you do it at the end. Now with the detailed brush and Velocity eyeshadow from Sugar Pill, I start to cast a shadow under each muscle segment and ligaments, really chiseling out the lines. Do this to all the muscle segments and ligaments. It's kind of a tedious process, but keep on going. It's worth it. Make sure to cast a shadow on any items down below. The eye is above, so is the mouth. Some of those ligaments kind of weave above some of the muscles, so make sure to cast a shadow onto the items down below. With that same detailed brush and this loose pigment by StarCrushedMinerals in Blue Jeans, it's a darker blue, I further define all of the lines, concentrating in the corners to give it that depth. Then with a tight eyeshadow brush, I take some more of the Sugar Pill Velocity and I fade it around the edges of all the muscle segments and sort of bring it towards the center to give it a little bit more dimension. Then I went in with a second round of fading in with Chaos from Urbandecay's Electric palette. With Krylon Clown White grease paint, I add some highlights in the center of the muscle segments and then pat it out with my finger, somewhat blending it back into that shadow. Just keep adding product and patting it out until you're happy with the highlight in the very center. Now with a tiny little liner brush, take some of that vibrant Chaos from the Electric palette and start forming these little lines that act as the little muscle wires. Keep doing that on all the little segments, on and on and on, to the damn break of dawn. Now wet your liner brush and with the StarCrushedMinerals Blue Jeans, add some more of the wire lines starting from the seam, working your way to the center. And if it becomes too dark, pat it out a bit. And now a round of white using Mehron's water activated paint. Do that to each segment, really highlighting. Pat it out if it becomes too bright or you added too much product. With a medium detailed brush, I go in with that dark blue jeans and I really cover up all the seams so you can't see where the little wires come out. They're concealed into the little line. And now, the star of the show, MakeupGeek's Corrupt. This black is like no other. I live for this stuff. I buy several at a time. It's what I use for my shadows, my super intense shadows. I can't live without it. Take a small angled brush and the Corrupt and make a line under each of the segments and the ligaments, and then take a smudging brush and really smudge everything out. Did I mention I love this stuff? I mean, look at that. For the clown, I went with the classic design with the white muzzle and the white over the eye. Fill that in with the Mehron white water activated paint. Fill your brow in with dark blue. Fill everything else in with gray. Form a pink point over your eye. Fatter ones look cute and thin ones are more evil looking. In teal, I add another little skinny one on top. Outline in teal your little points. Then add some hearts at the end of the points in dark blue. Then pink dots and a pink nose. Fill in your under eye with teal. With a flat, round, detailed brush, I'm adding in a nice little shade underneath each one of the little points, staying away from the inner corner. And then adding some Corrupt in the very, very tight corner at the top. Now add some of that chaos around the white eye and the muzzle to really make it pop. With a tiny angled brush, take that Corrupt and really work it around those tear marks, fading onto the muscles, then taking a blending brush and really blending onto the muscles, making that beautiful shadow. Blend it down onto your neck. Then take some of that blue jeans and add it around the edge for further depth. With that detailed brush and some chaos, add a shadow line around the tear mark, but don't go all the way up against the line. That forms a little bit of a highlight. Paint your buttons. Add some Corrupt and some white dots around your eye. More of the Corrupt around that muzzle line. Taking a smudge brush and really smudging it down onto that chaos. white eyeshadow base by NYX all over the eye. Using some of my favorite eyeshadows by Urbandecay. This is Flash on my eyebrow bone, and then some Haight right underneath it. And then I blend those together. Some blue Radium and blend that together. I then add some Woodstock in the corner of my eye, which is my fave. Then more Flash on the eyelid itself. Then blend, 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 and bring it down on that lower lash line and underneath. Then take some of the Woodstock and create a nice little shadow around your nose. Pat on some Krylon grease paint for a highlight to the nose. Then pat on NYX Luna Loose Pigment. It's like super iridescent and freaking gorgeous. Around the nose with some Corrupt, and then take your smudge brush and blend it outward. Add a highlight in the center of your buttons and a shadow underneath. Now map out your ruffles using a white eyeliner pencil so it's easy to wipe off. And then I draw these lines to show me visually where the ruffles will go up and where they will go down. They get painted over anyway, but it just helps me know what I'm doing. Then draw the little fabric piece underneath the ruffle. This will give a really realistic look to the little pleat. Fill in with white, avoiding the little under pleat. With that chaos and a definer brush, I make those lines that I painted over that signify where the fabric goes up and where it goes down. Then with an eyeshadow brush, start taking that chaos and pulling the product inward into the area where the fabric dips down. Then with a flat, round, detailed brush, make a little shadow on the dips, and then take the product and start blending it upward. I know it might look a little patchy right now, but really stick with it because it will come together, and this is where the magic happens. Just shade, 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 like that. With the same definer brush, use the loose pigment in blue jeans, the dark blue, and further define all of those lines. With a small paintbrush, take white paint and run it along the whole rim of the ruffle. With a tiny definer brush and some Corrupt, run that along that white line that just created around the rim, and up along those lines that will create a shadow for the pleat. Keep dusting your fallout. God, Corrupt, I love you. Now paint the under pleats with a light blue. With a tiny definer brush, take blue jeans and carve out that shadow. Now put some Corrupt right up into the tops of those little corners. Paint the rest of your body gray. Add a pink heart on your neck. Use some purple for some contour and white for some highlights. With your tiny definer brush, take the Corrupt and run a tight line right up underneath the ruffle, and then take your smudger brush and blend out a nice shadow. Do the exact same thing around the neckline, smudging it upward. Now with the chaos, add a little shadow around the heart to define it. Do the same thing for your eye and your mouth, like you did for all the muscle segments. Just do it in a round motion. Define your lines with the Corrupt. With a white eyeliner pencil, sketch out your lip line so that when you're painting on your lipstick, you don't go over. Then with water activated paint in white, I paint on my teeth. I like to use a round flat brush, and then I just create little stripes in the length that I want. With a liner brush, fill in the negative space with black and really define your teeth into the shape that you want them. With a couple of different pinks, I create a gum line, making sure to wrap up and around the tooth. It helps them look like they're embedded into the gum line. With your detailed brush and your Corrupt, make a little shadow on that gum line where the tooth comes into it. Smudge a little bit down onto the tooth and then on the back sides of the teeth, casting a little shadow around them. I filled in my lips with Mehron's Brilliant Metallic Paint in Fuchsia and stayed in that line that we made. With a detailed brush, I take some of the chaos and start making a wrinkle around that smile line, and then on top of my lip and on the chin. Further define it with the blue jeans, and then the Corrupt, giving it a super sunken look. Define the lips with Corrupt and then smudge it out for a shadow. You can also at this point outline the wrinkles and the lips with water activated paint. I decided not to, and I just added some more Corrupt and blended it out. Add some white highlights to your lips to make them pop. Throw on some black mascara. Off camera, I put in 2 different contacts from Camo Eyes, and then some Corrupt around my eyes to really make them pop. Really blend out those lines and then add some black jumbo eye pencil from NYX in your waterline and then blend out some more. Then I throw on my wigs. I stacked 2 on top of each other, making sure the curls swirled together to make it look like one wig. And this sick LA hat and these chunky cross earrings. And bam, we're done. LA hustle. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe.